Hot Dogs, your boy Spider Pig, aka TWP. Y'all know what time it is. Appreciate y'all for the replay gang. Anybody that comes in, y'all know to have a nice day, and we're gonna keep doing what we do. Hit the wrong button. Let me get this turned around. And ready to go.
Jesus Christ, really? Don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Zen? I already joined this Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city? Yes. Blew up the dominoes. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here? And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now. Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours? Kakarot! Kakarot!
Great job, Pan. You're almost done with your homework, and once you're done, we can finally go out and get some ice cream together. Wait a second. Pan? You're not Pan. Just what the hell did you do with my daughter? And what is this place? All right, you monster. Now you have my undivided attention.
This is my cheap and easy Super Saturday, Chungles. Go review my channel. You'll see I have a review channel. Then come back and have a nice day.
story opens up with Gohan being shown having to oversee his daughter Pan while she was doing her homework, as with Pan now shown nearly finished as she was undergoing her last math problem. It was just upon with Gohan now having to oversee this where Gohan went on to comment, "Alright Pan, you're doing great, and so there's just one more problem left for us to solve. Think you're ready for it? I have no doubt in my mind that you'll be able to knock this one right out of the..."
For anybody new, I do review Unrelent's weekly Dragon Ball posts. Shouts out to the big homie. Y'all know to go check out his original channels and his Patreon if you want to get ahead of the curve of everybody else. If not, y'all can come watch Super Saturdays over here with me, where we watch and talk about Dragon Ball. If you don't want to watch and talk about Dragon Ball with me, you can keep moving, because that's what you do, right? Right. You know, if you don't like something, just don't worry about it.
Park, with Pan responding, "You promised that we would go and get ice cream once we're done, right, Papa? Do you still promise after I'm done?" With Gohan responding, "Oh, of course, honey. Now let's finish this together. Now, do you see that right there? That's the last math problem that we have for you to solve. Now, remember the multiplication table that I taught you, and let's solve this problem," Gohan says. 8 times 7 equals... 3 carry the... Yes, it's 56. Oh, there we go. See, that wasn't so hard now, was it? I know homework can be really boring and all, but at least it helps you remember the lessons that you went through in school, Gohan says. And besides, it really isn't all that hard once you start getting used to doing it over and over and... But Pan? She's gone. But how? She was right there next to me, Gohan says. But Pan? Honey, where'd you go? Are you trying to play hide and seek? But then, it was only now from all around Gohan where Gohan was beginning to overhear a sinister and unfamiliar voice having to call out to him, as the voice went on to respond,
"Oh, what's the matter, Dad? I thought you loved playing hide and seek with me. Did you suddenly change your mind? Do you not want to play with your dear old daughter anymore?"
What? That's not Pan's voice. What's that strange and dark energy that I'm sensing all around me, Gohan says. Where is she? Where is my daughter? As the voice went on to respond,
"Aw, why the hostile attitude, Dad? I'm a lot closer than you think. Turn around."
In which that was exactly what Gohan ended up doing, and as Gohan ended up turning around to his own horror and seeing Pan stand right in front of him, there appeared to be something very off with Pan now, as she was standing in front of Gohan by wielding a glove full of knives, as Gohan went on to ask, "But Pan? No, you're not Pan. What have you done with my daughter? Who are you?"
"What a shame that you would doubt your own daughter like this."
Freddy Krueger went on to respond,
"Maybe I should remind you that it's really me, Dad. So how about it? Hold on to your shirt, Dad. Do you believe that it's really me now?"
To which, from out of nowhere, the moment Pan was shown kicking Gohan in the face and knocking him straight through their building and onto the outside, it was just upon with Gohan now being shown having to exit through the other side, where Freddy went on to then continue,
"Oh, ouch. Oh, I know you had to have felt that one. I told you to hang on to your shirt, Dad. Can't you see that it's really me now? Are you starting to realize the fatal mistake that you just made by doubting your dear old daughter?"
Just what the heck is going on? I know that's not Pan. Something's very off here, Gohan went on to maintain balance by responding. And so whatever that is not only took the form of Pan, but the energy that...
Anyway, shouts out to Unrelent Gaming, because, you know, he did do this video before Halloween, and I decided to wait till Saturday like I normally do to do my reviews, because that's what we do. We review the Dragon Ball content of the week that I want to review on Saturdays. So shouts out to Super Saturdays, because that's where we at. And then as far as Freddy Krueger versus Gohan, I preferred if he would have continued the fight that he started last year with Vegeta, because, you know, last year's Vegeta video was kind of good. I did it a couple days before Halloween, but hell, since he did Gohan versus Freddy Krueger, you know, nice little switch up.
I sense coming from them is incredibly dark and evil, cold and void, with Freddy responding,
"Oh, you're still standing, huh? How surprising."
"All right, right, that's it. If you don't tell me where my daughter is, I'm going to tear you apart, you hear me? Now get out here and show yourself, Gohan went on to shout. Either you're going to come out here and reveal who you truly are, or I'm going to smash my way in there and beat it out of you. So what's it going to be? Oh, hey, do you hear me? Now what's it going to be? Gohan went on to shout. It's do or die. Now answer. But then it was only from out of nowhere to an unsuspecting Gohan now from behind him, where we then see how a very familiar face was making its way towards Gohan as Freddy went on to respond.
Oh yes, I hear you loud and clear, Gohan.
In which the second Freddy was now shown taking the form of Orange Piccolo, as Orange Piccolo went on to elbow Gohan in the back of the neck. It was just upon with Freddy now being shown doing this where Freddy went on to continue.
You don't quite understand the danger of the situation that you're placed in, don't you? I want to personally welcome you to a very special place. A place where your deepest, darkest nightmares become a reality. My reality, and no matter how much you try and resist, you will never escape.
Freddy went on to continue.
So you better get comfortable fast, Saiyan, because the nightmare is only just getting started, and I can't wait to show you all of the things that I have in store for you, Dad. Now what's wrong? You seem to be a bit confused by what's going on.
Piccolo? But that's just not possible. Who are you? Where am I? And what have you done to my friends and family? What is this place? It appears as though everything around me seems to be changing, but why? What's going on? What did you do with my daughter, you bastard? I swear, if she so as has a single hair plucked from her head, I'm going to tear your head off. Now answer me, with Piccolo responding.
Oh, you cutie little man. Your powers aren't going to help you here. I go by many names, but the most famous among them all is Freddy Krueger. And we are in the Dream Realm, my realm to be exact. A place where everything you fear is brought to life that waits for you. Why don't you man up there and come give Uncle Piccolo a hug? I won't bite, I promise. Well, maybe I won't bite too deep into your flesh, but I promise that it'll be over before you know it, kid. So how's about it? Go on. Heads up there, kid. Incoming package for ya. Sincerely yours, Papa Freddy.
Oh, what the heck? Gohan says, is that his giant hand? To which upon Gohan now barely shown having to avoid this, that was where Gohan then went on to shout, God, just what the hell even is this guy? He can enlarge his limbs too?
Oh, almost squashed you like the little insect that you are.
Oh, where are you, Gohan shouts. Show yourself, you coward. Oh, but I'm all around you, kid, Freddy went on to respond. I am everywhere that you were able to see with your eyes, and yet somehow you still can't see me. Oh, I am going to enjoy tearing into your flesh, Gohan. You Saiyans are an extremely fascinating group of individuals. I'm starting to wonder what it would feel like to find your wife and daughter in the real world as I take your body over and slaughter them both as you. To where that's where Gohan had enough, because upon Gohan now being shown having to backhand Freddy Krueger across the face, it was just upon with Gohan now being shown doing this where Gohan went on to shout, Oh, you leave my family out of this, you spineless animal! Oh, well, you were actually able to land one on me. Did you know that after the heart stops beating, Freddy went on to continue, the brain still keeps functioning for another 7 minutes, Gohan? Well, you and I still have 6 more minutes to play once I tear yours clean out of your chest, you filthy little pig. To where from out of nowhere, the moment Gohan had now spotted yet another familiar face, with that having to be none other faster than
No.
Black Frieza. It was just the pawn with Black Frieza now being shown approaching, where Freddy Krueger disguised as Frieza went on to respond, "You haven't forgotten about me now, have you, monkey?" No, but that just can't be who I think it is. He's
my
able to
video.
turn himself into Frieza while also being able to wield his black form? Oh crap, if this monster is able to turn himself into Frieza, oh, then there's no telling on who else he's going to morph himself and use against me next. I have to, but then it was just as Freddy went on to catch Gohan's attention once more, where Freddy from behind him went on to shout, "Hey, punk, do Uncle Freddy a favor and stand still." But wait, he's still there too? So he can split himself into two separate beings? Where fortunate enough for Gohan, as he was shown ducking on under upon Frieza approaching him, that was when from there Black Frieza was shown having to charge directly at the opposite Freddy by responding, "No, why are you running from me, Gohan? I just want to see the inside of your head. I'm a sitting duck out here unless I do something to put an end to this and fast," Gohan went on to say to himself. And he's not giving me any openings to land a decisive blow on him. "You can run, little man, but you can't hide," Freddy went on to shout. "Jump around all you want. In the end, I will still find you." Oh, this guy's absolutely crazy. I don't know where I am or what this place is, but I've got to go all out if I hope to make it out of here in one piece. "You're a lot faster than I expected," Freddy went on to continue. "Like an annoying..."
I mean, that would suck though. Imagine you one of the smartest, not the smartest, but one of the smarter Dragon Ball Z characters, and you wake up in a nightmare versus Freddy Krueger. That'd be that BS.
Little fly that just refuses to die. But don't worry there, Super Dad. Papa Freddy knows just how to squash you little bugs. I can't wait to hear your family scream when I spit roast them like the little hams they all are. But then, it was just upon with Gohan now having to hear Freddy bring up his family once again, where Gohan from that point had seemingly had enough, with Gohan shouting, "I've had enough! No more!" Gohan shouts, to which as soon as Gohan was now shown having to once again reignite the beast power that lied within him, with Gohan now shown having to go all out from the jump, that was when Freddy went on to then respond, "Oh yeah, and what do you think you're going to do about it, old man? Throw library books and research papers at me hoping that I would die? Give me a break, but oh, would you look at that. Yes, it looks like this little dog here still has a bit of fight left within him. Now that was quite the dramatic little light show that you just put on there, Freddy says. So, your hair is bigger and it's white now, so what? Am I supposed to be afraid that you changed the color and length of your hair? Why don't we add a bit more spice here then, huh? I can already see that there is something very different about you this time around, but don't forget that you are in my world now, and I'm the one who makes the rules around here, not you, Porcupine. So how about we dig up some more old faces from your past and see if you recognize them? To where that was exactly what Freddy ended up doing, because upon Gohan now being shown having to go up against Kefla, it was just as Gohan was now shown catching one of her punches, where Gohan went on to respond, "I don't care about you, your world, or anyone that you decide to throw against me," he says. "Where's my daughter? She's the only one that matters to me, and I swear if you did anything to her, there will be not a single world that you can hide in that I won't find you in, Freddy. Now where is she, you lunatic? Answer me right now, you pile of trash!" Whereupon Gohan now being shown attempting to kick Kefla, only for Gohan to now be surprised enough in seeing his leg go completely through. It was only as Gohan was now beginning to put this into question where Freddy went on to respond, "Oh really? Is that a game of cat and mouse I hear? Oh, you'll have to beat the information out of me first if you really want to know, and guess what? Only pigs squeal, and I'm no pig, little man. If you still think that you have me all figured out," Freddy continues, "then how about I throw some more friendly faces your way and see if any of them stick with you?" In which, to Gohan's shock, as Freddy was now beginning to use Beerus as that very example, was where Gohan from that point was barely able to avoid Beerus' attack by then responding, and now you're trying to imitate and use the God of Destruction destruction, Beerus? Oh, you just don't know when to quit, do ya? Now, where's my daughter, you freak? With Freddy responding, oh, you don't get to tell me what to do around here, maggot. I'm the one who dictates what happens next. And as long as you're down here with me, you aren't ever going to leave. This is one nightmare that you're going to wish wasn't real. And I want you to know that no matter how strong you think you are, down here you're only as strong as I allow for you to be, boy. You can only go as far as I throw you, and guess what else? Speaking of throwing, you might want to take a look at what's being thrown towards you right now. Oh, what? He's gone. Oh, just where the hell did he run off to? Oh, no, that ball of energy Gohan went on to continue. Don't tell me that's mixed with destruction energy. Oh, crap, it is. Oh, which means that if that ball of energy didn't just come from Lord Beerus, then, I've got to brace for it, Gohan says. In which, to Gohan's surprise, as he was only from that point now forced in taking this gigantic destruction blast head on, while Freddy Krueger was shown having to watch from down below, that was where Freddy then went on to continue. Oh, you're making this all too easy for me. And here I thought that you were supposed to be the smart one among your little group of planet-transforming friends. I guess you weren't all that smart now after all, huh? Does it hurt? Because I know it does. I can feel it within your soul, kid. God damn. Gohan went on to emerge by responding, I didn't want to think that he could, but it turns out that he already did. Oh, so now what? Are you going to start using the images of my friends and family as a means of breaking me down? Because it won't work, especially since I know that Dad and Vegeta would never do what you just did to me. So now what? Because if you think that for 1 second that I'm just going...
I mean, correction, go. You know, Vegeta would damn well put hands on you. That nigga don't give a fuck. If you who you want to fight that day, he putting hands on you. You already know.
To back down and die now, then you're in for a rude awakening, Freddy. And I'll smash right through whoever you end up using against me if it means getting to my daughter. To which, shockingly enough, as Freddy was now beginning to use both Goku and Vegeta as a means of getting to Gohan, that was where Freddy went on to then continue. I wouldn't put all of my eggs into that already broken basket of yours, Gohan, because you aren't going to be getting your out of this one as easily as you think, especially since I have you right where I want you. I am many down here while you are only one. And you could never imagine how many more are waiting for you. With an angered Gohan responding, Freddy, enough with these games! If you aren't going to tell me where my daughter is, then I'm going to use every bit of power that I have and blow this entire realm to kingdom come. I'm sick of doing this, and so you want to do this the hard way? Then let's do this the hard way. But then, that was where Freddy Krueger from out of nowhere had gone as far as to enlarge his body once again by grabbing onto Gohan with Gohan shouting, God, just what the heck? How? Oh, I don't think so. How are you going to destroy anything when you are literally glued onto my hand? What are you, a puny little alien crossbreed compared to an all-knowing, all-powerful demon like me? This is all mine, and I control everything in this realm, including you. Now I want you to watch closely as you blink when it continues, or you just might miss out on what's about to happen. I'm going to drive my blades right through that skull of yours and feast on your soul while you scream for me to stop. Saiyan, you ready for the fun? I promise that this won't hurt that much. Now hold still and come to Freddy. As Gohan went on to respond, I can't move. Just damn it. No. But then, fortunately enough for Gohan, as he was from there shown having to wake up from sleeping on his desk, where Gohan went on to shout, no, wait, what just happened? I'm alive? I'm alive. Oh, wait, Pan. Oh, thank goodness she's all right and she's sleeping. Oh, that dream. It all felt so real that I couldn't make out what was real and what wasn't, Gohan says. Oh, just what in the world even was that guy anyway? This Freddy demon. And he kept calling it the Dream Realm, too. Well, whatever that was, I'm glad that Pan's safe and home where I can keep my eye on her. Oh, I gotta gotta snap out of it here and get it together or I'm going to lose my mind. Well, better also go check on Videl and see if she's also sleeping too, Gohan says. In which, eerily enough, the moment Gohan had gone as far as to turn the lights off and seeing Pan now sleep by herself, it was only now from the shadows behind Pan where a silhouette of Freddy went on to respond, "The children. From the very beginning, it was the children who gave me my power, and the children feared me, and their fear gave me the power I needed to invade their dreams, and that's when the fun really began, and it will begin again, starting with you, my little pretty. Your daddy was lucky to have woken up when he did, but that won't happen again, because soon I will be welcoming you to my nightmare," as it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of Gohan vs. Freddy Krueger in the Dream Realm manga chapter Halloween special then comes to a close. Now,
Hey, sorry to cut you off, but I'll take it from here. Thanks, Unreal. Did you guys see what just happened? Talk about a freaky scenario to be placed in. I have no idea who this Freddy Krueger person was, but he sure was powerful. Though he did mention the reason for that was because of the realm we were all in, but either way, I've never encountered anyone like that guy before. He did say that he was a demon or something, right? Well, no wonder I wasn't able to harm him since he was the one who held the advantage, but I'm glad it's all over. And more importantly, I'm glad the Pan is safe at home. We hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, then don't forget to subscribe to Unreal's channel for more content. And also don't forget to join his Patreon either for lots of exclusive content, sneak peeks, and other goodies. We hope you all had fun, so happy Halloween, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you all down in the comments section below. See you later.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unrelent Gaming? Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch. Roshi,
Let's see.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment.
I like the fight here with Vegeta better because he was at least
That's right.
tactfully showing some people that you didn't even know
Extra
that
long,
Vegeta
thick,
actually
Dragon
would have
Ball
wanted to fight, like
content.
his mom and pops and stuff like that. But
Quality
that's funny.
reviews with flawless editing.
But Gohan, you know,
Yeah, you like that, wouldn't you?
they keep trying to make Gohan main character status. But, you know,
Roshi, the fuck.
he
God damn
LIU.
it, I need them to
Real
subscribe,
niggas in
Cell.
training.
And we're demonetized. Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
So you could be signing cash moves, but you could be signing young money.
Venom walks into a bar, pushing people aside, but makes a huge mistake. He spills Wolverine's drink. Logan tells him that he looks familiar, asking him if he's stabbed him before. And as Venom gets closer, Wolverine remembers. He's Spider-Man's guy. Venom attacks, but Logan dodges and stabs him in the chest. Thinking that their fight is over, Logan grabs a beer and heads out, but Venom attacks him from behind, sending him flying through the wall, and brags about how he messed up Spider-Man. Once Logan is regenerated, he reminds Venom that Spider-Man is like 12 years old. Eventually, Wolverine overpowers Venom, and once he's on the ground, Logan tells him that someone gave him a chance a long time ago, and now this is his. Wolverine retracts his claws and says goodbye to the symbiote.
I cannot allow this to stand! Your insolence just cost you this world! I'll blow it all to pieces, and there's nothing you can do to stop me! He's gonna what? Try to dodge this if you can. You might manage to save yourself, but your precious Earth is doomed! I gotta risk it! 3 times Kaioken! Kamehameha! It's hopeless! There's no way you can stop my Gallic gun! Impossible! His blast is exactly like my Gallic gun! Kaioken! Time
Man, we got got the coolest merch, man. Right now, back in the Geekdom 101 store, the legendary Fusion merchandise line. You can get this in multiple colors, not just shirts. You can also get hoodies and things of that nature. Multiple sizes, ships to almost any country in the world. I'm bringing this design back because Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is a favorite now with Sparking Zero, and a lot of folks love this character, and this art is just phenomenal from Dead Dark. So get your hands on this exclusive piece of merchandise right now. The link is in the description. Click it and get yours today. Dragon Ball Daima episode 3 is upon us, and this episode is just called Daima, short and sweet. In the last episode, Glorio appeared from the
Leave episode 4 is out. We might do that, but you know, that might not.
demon realm and offered to bring, or asked to bring somebody to the demon realm with him to help solve the problem of finding Dende, and a favor from the king of the third demon realm, who we have not met yet. And so because his ship only can hold a small amount of people, it's Goku, Kaioshin, the Supreme Kai, and Glorio. They're the only ones going for now. In the meantime, Bulma, Vegeta, Piccolo are going to remain on Earth until Bulma finishes fixing the Supreme Kai ship, and then they will join them in the quest. So, first and foremost, the formatting of this episode is sort of back to the traditional anime standard, meaning we had the intro with the music and everything, the opening, then a small recap, then the episode title. So now the formatting is much more like other Dragon Ball shows and other anime overall. Now it feels kind of back to normal, the way things should be. So I'm not sure if we're going to get any more of those like longer special episodes like episode 1, maybe at the end, but I'm not sure on that. So I guess right now we're going to keep it the way it is. So this episode called Daima is basically about Goku, Shin, and Glorio actually entering the demon realm. Now in this episode, it focuses 100% on their story. They don't cut back to Earth. We don't see Bulma working on anything. We're just focusing on the journey to get to the Daimakai, which is the great demon realm. Before I go into like the nitty and gritty of this episode, I want to say that first of all, if you are a fan of Star Wars, and I don't mean the current iteration of Star Wars under Disney, I mean the original George Lucas Star Wars, the original trilogy, specifically the very first one from 1977, A New Hope, you will love this episode, because let me tell you, there is a lot of Star Wars in this episode and in this show overall. Toriyama loves Star Wars. In fact, I don't know if you guys saw the video I did about Toriyama's life that I put out on his birthday a few weeks after he passed away. But in that video, I talked about how his first big break came doing a Star Wars parody, because he loves Star Wars. There is a lot of Star Wars in this episode. I mean, a ton from the original movie. As well as, I'm going to say this, I think Glorio is going to end up being a fan favorite character when things are said and done. I don't know where the story's going to go with him. We talked a little bit last week about how maybe he's secretly a villain. He might have some secret plans, but this dude is awesome, and I really am enjoying his character so far. He's very much like Han Solo, not just in the fact that he dresses like Han Solo and has a blaster, but he's a bit more quiet, a bit more mysterious. He's a pilot like Han Solo, so there's no question that Toriyama definitely drew inspiration from Star Wars for this episode. So I think if you like Star Wars, and if you sort of like the exploration aspect of Dragon Ball, you'll like this, because this episode really focused on getting to the demon realm and then trying to quickly explore and see what you can find. Lots of JRPG vibes. A lot of the music, like with the first couple of episodes, sound like very much like JRPG music. If you watch Dragon Quest Die or played any of the Dragon Quest games, you guys know how much I love Dragon Quest. This had the very, very similar vibes. You have to understand something about Daima, and I want to get this out. People are calling it GT 2.0 and stuff like that, and there's truth to that, but not entirely. The way that Daima is sort of structured is there's a little bit of original Dragon Ball, which is exploration and trying to find things, right? Then there's Dragon Ball Z, which is when we start getting the Super Saiyan forms, which is coming. The Super Saiyan transformations are coming. We saw them in the trailer. Goku has to sort of recalibrate his body because it's different now. The weight distribution is different. So once he figures that out, we'll get the Super Saiyan forms. And then there is obviously some GT stuff coming up as well with GT vibes. So yes, there's aspects of this series that are borrowing from all the different Dragon Ball anime, even a little bit from Super. And I like that. If it's a 40th anniversary anime, why not borrow from things of the past 40 years, even things that Toriyama did not work on? And there are lots of things in Daima coming up in the future that are certainly inspired from GT, but there's also stuff from Z and original Dragon Ball. So this one really does feel like it's as pure as it gets for the fans. And I want to reiterate something. This is the most Toriyama's ever been involved in an anime project besides the previous 3 movies. Prior to that, Toriyama would just write very basic manuscripts and then Toei would adapt them into episodes for Dragon Ball Super and, stuff like that. But that's for Super, and the manga as well. But he also worked with Totoro. But now what's happening is he wrote the story of Daima. The Toei writers are taking it, cutting it up into episodes, sending him their scripts. He makes modifications, edits, suggestions, puts in little jokes or whatever he wants to put in, factoids, sends it back to them. So just a little bit more information on the process of this episode. Now, when it comes to lore, there's a few new lore details that are revealed in this episode. And I probably will be doing another Easter egg video like I have for the past couple of episodes. If you haven't watched those, you definitely need to, because I did my homework on those. And there's a lot of stuff from Daima that's Easter eggs, references, and clues for things in the past and in the future. So you definitely want to make sure you check out my Easter egg videos. I've been doing them on Mondays, but the one this week may drop sooner only because there's not too much to discuss, but there is some interesting stuff that I want to get into. When it comes to the meat and potatoes of this episode, Glorio is the pilot going through space. The grand tour has begun. Not really, it's not like that. And he goes all the way to the ends of the universe, which is where the gateway to the demon realm lies, to the world between worlds. Did a video this past weekend about the world between worlds, which sounds like something from Star Wars, and it is, but it's that little realm that we saw in episode 1 when we saw the demons go into it with the fish that can take you to anywhere you want to go. It's got little warp zones to go presumably anywhere. I mean, they ask what universe, so you could even go to another universe if you want to from that little area. Also, quick sidebar, I asked you guys in the community tab if you thought we're going to see fusion in Daima, and the results, or you can still vote if you want to, the results are there for now. Coming up this Sunday at 3 p.m. here live on the channel, I'll have Star Blast on, and we're going to discuss the possibility and speculate on whether or not we're going to see fusion in Dragon Ball Daima. So join us for that topic, Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. So some interesting bits here. The reason why Glorio is able to get to the other side of the universe where the gateway to the demon realm is so fast is because the ships from the demon realm, which they call airplanes in Japanese, but the ships from the demon realm have magic. They use magic, and that enhances their speed. I love that. Really cool way to incorporate like magic and technology together, which is kind of what Dr. Arinsu is really all about. But I like that it's more than just her. And when they actually get to the big fish, that we saw previously, this is the episode where he is named finally. Like I've been telling you guys in multiple videos and multiple streams, his name is Warp. And it's revealed here that is his name. And he gets mad because Goku refers to him as like a goldfish, in Japanese. And Supreme Kai, kind of like with Beerus, remember how Goku would like be very, very lighthearted and sort of crass around Beerus, and then Kaio and the other Kais were like, yo, like calm down, this is Lord Beerus. Same thing here where he's telling Goku like, you're gonna piss him off, dude, chill out. And I love Goku's naivete because it's part of his character. And in this case, they have to cooperate with him so they can get into the demon realm to actually resolve this issue. So Warp is not going to let them into the demon realm unless he sees their ears. Now, about 10 days ago in the members only section of the community tab, I told you guys that there was an episode where Goku's going to end up with pointy ears. That was an early spoiler, and I even wrote, like, you know, please do not click, you know, because I wrote a bunch of dots, so if you didn't want to be spoiled, you could skip it. And I discussed that Goku will have pointy ears in one episode, and I assumed it was in the demon realm, but that is an incorrect assumption. The pointy-eared Goku is something I was told about months ago, like in the summertime, but I didn't understand the context. Now it makes sense. Supreme Kai casts a spell on Goku to make his ears pointy so that Warp would think he was a demon and then let them through. When they went through, Goku's ears went back to normal again. So it's nice to see that, you know, a lot of times when it comes to getting information, like early information, leaks, whatever you want to call them, sometimes you don't get full context. Sometimes you'll see images and not really understand what they mean. And it's nice that now we have an understanding of what's really going on. There's a little bit of foreshadowing here because they need a password to get access to the nexus point, to the realm between realms, the place where they can get to the demon realm. And Supreme Kai forgot to tell Kibito the password. So this could end up being a problem when it comes to them later on trying to get into the demon realm. But we'll get there when we get there. They also have a brief discussion about Goma and his magical abilities. This goes back to something I talked about on stream as well, and what makes Daima different than Super, and that is that in Daima, Goku and the gang are going to be challenged not just by physically strong fighters, but by people who are adept at magical abilities. So it's not just going to be big fights, Goku versus Jiren, big muscles. This is a bit of a different challenge for Goku because he's going up against warlocks and magicians, and you know, these things offer something fresh and different to Dragon Ball, and that's why it'll be interesting to look back at Daima and Super and compare and contrast how they sort of handled this whole thing. But of course, it is Dragon Ball, so you're going to get martial arts fight, you're going to get punches and kicks, you're going to get blasts. You know this, it's in the trailers, but I like that it's slightly different. It's a slightly different type of challenge, and it reminds me of what people wanted from the Moro arc. Remember how in the Moro arc they had this awesome early introduction for Moro, and everybody was like, wow, this guy knows how to manipulate things that no other villains know how to do? There you go. I think that makes sense, and I do think that Moro probably is from the demon realm. If you were to, you know, say, hey, do you really think he's from there? I mean, he's got the pointy ears, he's got warlock, it all kind of fits, right? So they go to Demon Realm level 3. That is where Glorio is from. That is the Demon Realm that we saw briefly in Dragon Ball Z when Gohan fought Dabura with the pink sky. And as you know, there's 3 Demon Realms. There's the red one, the green one, and the pink one. And the red one's number 1, the green one's number 2, the pink one's number 3. And so they're going to go to the third one first because that's where Glorio was sent from the king of that demon realm who has not been revealed yet. But also Glorio talks about how he has a mission involving one of the other demon realms. So again, it's, if your theory is that this guy is secretly working for Rinsu or has his own sort of plot to overthrow Goma, I would not discount that theory just yet. I think that by the end of the series, and this is not a spoiler, this is a theory, and it's a logical one. If you think that he's secretly a bad guy, it's possible. We'll find out, but they certainly are teasing that there's more to be revealed, and I like that. The thing about this, the Dragon Ball Daima show, is that Dragon Ball Super was written arc to arc. So Toriyama would write the Universe 6 arc, then he would go on to write the Trunks arc with Goku Black, and then the Tournament of Power. Here, the entire show, the entire story has already been sort of pre-approved, so they can do foreshadowing and things like that while avoiding too many, you know, loose ends and things of that nature. But there's still some retcons. Specifically retcons of things Toriyama has said in the past. When they land, Goku complains about the smell and the gravity. So it looks like the gravity of the demon realm is different than what he's used to, which can only make him stronger. Goku's a guy who's trained under gravity, not with this mini body, but with his adult body. So nothing too crazy for Goku, but just interesting, you know, atmosphere. Akio Iyoku talked about how the demon realm has a slightly different atmosphere and genetically is different than the mortal realm. So I mean, that's an example right there. Glorio reveals that there's this toxic gas or something like that, which is the cause of the smell and this sort of volcanic eruption that apparently happened at some point. They show this awesome giant golden statue of Deborah, and the first thing that popped in my head was either Jebediah Springfield from the old Simpsons episodes with the big statue,
Shout out to Geek, dude.
or
That is
Mr.
fun.
Satan at the end of GT. How he's got his statue with Goku's statue, but apparently Deborah was either very well respected in this part of the demon realm, or he's one of these, like, probably more the latter, one of these sort of oppressing dictators to where he wants everybody to worship him. But it was pretty funny seeing that, and it's a nice touch. Also, I forgot to mention earlier that when they go into warp or whatever, he literally turns around and craps them out of his ass. Like, they literally pop out of his rear end into the demon realm. Also, they find this, like, tunnel. It was in the trailer, and the tunnel is what's supposed to give you access to the other two demon realms from the demon realm itself. And it seems to be locked. Sort of like, again, like an RPG, dude. Like, this is so inspired by Japanese role-playing games. It's wild. Like, there's so much of that in this show. So remember earlier in the review where I mentioned there might be some retconning going on? Well, Glorio reveals that the Supreme Kai, and maybe all the Supreme Kais, are what's referred to as a Glind. And Glinds are from the second demon realm. So basically, people have been saying, are the Kais from the demon realm too? Like, is everybody from there? I don't know about everybody, but it does appear like the Kais are from the second demon realm. Now, does this contradict what Toriyama said in the past? Not necessarily. And I'm going to go into more detail on this in my Easter eggs video. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Make sure you have all notifications turned on. If you have not been getting notified, you unsubscribe, then resubscribe and enable the notifications, then hit the notification bell, set it to all, because there's a glitch in YouTube where not all notifications are sent out. So make sure you do that so you don't miss that video, because I'm going to go real deep into that lore in that video. So then we get some action as Goku, Supreme Kai, and Glorio are confronted, sort of, by this tribe of trolls that have spears and arrows, and they're throwing them at Goku, and Goku's still not used to the gravity, still not used to his body, so Glorio has to step in with his blaster and fires it at them, and they run away. This is so reminiscent of the Tusken Raiders from Star Wars. They even look sort of like that, except with Toriyama's touch. They have the spears and, sort of antiquated old weapons, and Glorio with his technology is able to fire at them for them to disperse. This, again, so much Star Wars, but we're not done. Then Glorio takes them to this, like, hotel area where they're going to stay at, because the next day they're going to go meet the king of the third demon realm, the one who sent Glorio on the mission. Well, what happens is, once again, 1977 Star Wars, Goku gets hungry and he wants to have some food because Glorio interrupted him eating. So they go down to the this little bar area, this bar and grill area, this pub, very Star Wars like. Again, there's so much of that in Daima, and I love the old Star Wars movies, so I'm in. I'm for it. So as they're in the pub eating, Goku's eating a hamburger, this big demon-looking guy who looks a lot like Drum from Demon King Piccolo's children from the old Demon Clan. There's no question there's influence there, that, like, Toriyama remembered that design. He notices that Goku has round ears, and it's sort of like, again, in Star Wars, they're droids. Their kind aren't welcome here. Same thing. And, of course, this leads to a scuffle. This is so much fun because it's Goku and Glorio together taking on these demons in this pub, and Goku's fighting them off while eating. The dude's got a burger in his mouth, battling these lower level demons. Hey, and look, Glorio had a cool move. One of the demon guys tried to grab him. He twisted him into like a one-armed sort of hammerlock. That was awesome, yo. Glorio, I'm curious to see what else Glorio knows as far as fighting goes, because this was a cool little moment for him. He also does this awesome reverse elbow to the grill piece. Awesome, man. Like, and the animation is so fluid. You know how it is. Meanwhile, Goku's like avoiding these axes. He's dropping elbows on dudes. He's kicking them. Just, You know, it really does remind me of early Dragon Ball, how Goku, just him and the pole going up against like dinosaurs and these bandits. This is kind of like that. As I mentioned, this part of Daima is more OG Dragon Ball influence. Then the Z part will come in when the Super Saiyan forms come in very soon, and then more GT and Super stuff later. So Goku just humiliates them with a burger in his mouth. That night they go to sleep, and the next day, guess what happened? The ship, the Glorio airplane, as they call it, his craft has been stolen. So that is your cliffhanger for episode 3. Next week, more fights, according to the brief preview that we got, the introduction of the masked Majin, as well as how are they going to get Glorio's ship back? That remains to be seen. The episode was fine for what it was, half lore, half action, and now we're going to get more action next week. So finally, we're going to have some fights and, you know, cool moments to see. Goku fighting with a cheeseburger in his mouth or whatever, that was a fun, like something different. You know, we see Goku fight, we see Goku eat. We don't really see Goku eat and fight at the same time. And we saw it here. So it took 40 years for us to see that. I like the episode. Nothing too crazy, not yet, but the story's still building. We'll see what happens next week. Don't forget Sunday's the stream, Easter egg video tomorrow. Love you guys. Thank you for your support. I will see you then, and take care of yourself and each other.
Did you know that Sun Wukong is immortal 7 different ways? Sun Wukong is a mythical being from the novel Journey to the West. In addition to being able to lift mountains on his shoulders and leap 50,000 kilometers in a single bound, he is also immortal in 7 different ways. The first time he became immortal was when he trained with the monk Sukuti for 7 years, obtaining a secret formula that granted him immortality. Later, he managed to erase his name and that of his entire tribe from the Book of the Dead, making himself immortal a second time. For the third time, he ate all the peaches in the garden of the celestial peaches, which granted him immortality. Then, at the banquet of the Queen Mother of the West, he drank the celestial wine, becoming immortal for the 4th time. Still drunk, Wukong ate the pills of longevity, gaining immortality for the 5th time. The Monkey King was then placed in Laozi's furnace to be burned alive, but instead, he burned away his mortality, thus becoming immortal for the 6th time. Finally, Wukong found some ginseng fruits and ate them all, obtaining immortality for the 7th time.
Here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly
Didn't watch all that one apparently. Haha. Let's get to the end of the fight though. Appreciate that. I already done went by and checked out a couple of your videos. But yeah, I'll leave comments on them after
I
I'm done
already
here.
joined this Patreon today.
Shout out to
Lots of great stuff on there,
networking.
actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the
Good
dominoes.
dominoes.
You blew up the dominoes, and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Now, although this was something that I did not foresee having to happen, it would only appear as though it has finally now come down to this. Because with both Lord Ligor and Lord Beerus having to draw forth their absolute strongest levels of power against one another, it is finally now time to see on which god of destruction between them is truly the superior destroyer.
As our story now now continues following the initial events of Universe 20's God of Destruction Ligor being shown having to unveil a surprisingly shocking transformation, as with everyone including Ultra Beerus being shown having to look on in absolute disbelief, it was only upon with Ligor being shown having to unveil his Ultra form was when Vegeta went on to then quickly respond, I can't believe that this is really happening right now. As first Lord Beerus shocks us all by revealing this newly formed fighting power of his, and now this newly crowned God of Destruction is also shown wielding it too, with Goku responding, wow, this is just amazing, you guys. As I knew that I had felt something very similar to my Ultra Instinct when I first had went and shaked Lord Ligor's hand after meeting him, but even then I couldn't quite tell on what it was about him that I felt that was off at the time, but now I see on why that was, with Gohan having to respond, this is just incredible. And with both of them now at the absolute height of where they can be as gods of destruction, I'm not liking Lord Beerus's chances out there against that destroyer if this spills over, as Whis went on to then chime in, and it's fascinating, isn't it? But only time will tell on just what exactly we can expect to go and see from them as this goes and carries on. And so now because of this, we will just have to go and remain patient in the meantime, as Angel Rumi went on to address Tigron by responding, so now, what do you personally believe, Lord Tigron? Since you're the only destroyer to know of Lord Ligor's true potential, what say you on who you believe will claim this victory? With Tigron responding, well, even with my own bias aside, I do not see Universe 7's God of Destruction lasting much longer throughout this fight now that Lord Ligor has decided to go all out here against him, but while I do also maintain respect for Lord Beerus, I do not see him being the one who walks away from this fight as its winner, with Beerus responding, oh, but how? How are you able to go and reach this level of power, as I had only assumed no, for I was more than certain throughout my training that this kind of transformation was something that only I could have been able to achieve. And yet here you stand before me by wielding a power that I didn't think anyone else among our kind would have been able to reach alongside me. And so now because of this, I must know on the full extent of how this happened, God of Destruction. For I knew that I had sensed something very unusual about you the moment I first laid my eyes on you back on my planet after facing Lord Reno. But even then, I never would have imagined that it was going to be this. And so now tell me, Beerus continues, was this power always something that you had held within you? Have you had this power the entire time, even long before having to be introduced to the rest of us after my battle against Lord Reno? Or was this power and form of yours something that you had only just recently went on to discover? Because I refuse to believe that this was something that you had just recently discovered. And so now answer me, with Ligor responding, you are far more perceptive than I gave you credit for, Lord Beerus, but yes, for you are right. For I have had this power for quite some time, even long before I was told to come down into your universe to meet you alongside meeting the other gods. For I had went and kept this in secret, with Lord Tigron being the only other god of destruction who was ever knowing of the truest extent of what my power is capable of. And as I knew that there would come a time when revealing it would serve a much greater purpose, and now it has, Ligor continues. For my universe here, just as you had suspected, it doesn't operate on the same frequency as the rest of the multiverse does, as the accelerated flow of time within my realm has allowed for me to go and train with Lord Tigron for a far more extensive period than most can even imagine that it would. Then while you were honing your skills in not only training with your angel Whis, but had also volunteered to be trained by Angel Ivalco, I, on the other hand, had already done the same, but for a far longer time period than you can even begin to imagine, Lord Beerus. For my goal was to not only go and train with Lord Tigron after learning about what it was that I had told you prior, but I had also set out a secondary goal to try and teach him by guiding Lord Tigron along a similar path into also discovering an evolution that would best suit the attributes that Lord Tigron displays, with the shocked Beerus having to then respond, wait, so you had went and achieved such a power long before even touching down onto my planet when you did? And so I was right. Both of your universes do in fact possess an accelerated time scale than the rest of us do. And that was how both you and Lord Tigron were able to grow so powerful so quickly. For you had both been training ever since being appointed as newly crowned destroyers after all, now weren't you? And so that explains it, Beerus continues. And what do you mean by what you said about helping Lord Tigron discover his own calling, Beerus questions? Can he not also go and harness these forms along with wielding these levels of power as we can, with Ligor then being shown responding? We indeed do, as you will find that time has passed by much quicker here once you have returned back into Universe 7. But to go and answer your question briefly before we engage, and the answer to your question on if Lord Tigron is able to wield similar feats of strength to our own, then you would be incorrect. For not every god of destruction is capable of combining their destructive nature with the powers of Ultra Instinct, as some gods of destruction are able to combine and incorporate different attributes more so than others. But needless to say, as I have now answered your questions, allow us to go and hereby continue with our battle, to which as Ligor and Beerus were then shown dashing towards one another was when Goku went on to then chime back in. Oh man, I sure do hope that Lord Beerus is going to be able to hold out against whatever Lord Ligor is about to go and let out against him out there, because, well, I'm just gonna be honest here and say that they have got me all fired up just by simply having to go and watch them, as Vegeta went on to then respond. Yeah, well, you better not even think about going and trying to call that one out to a fight here against us either, Kakarot. So just go and think about it, because if we weren't able to do anything against that Tiger God, then just imagine as to how bad it'll be if we go and face this one. But then, it was only just upon mid-collision as both Ligor and Beerus went on to create a massive shockwave and nearly blowing both Goku and Vegeta away, was when Goku then went on to quickly chime back in. Actually, never mind all of that now, because we may not even go and make it out long enough to even call him out to one. Thanks for the save, Broly. But even then, back on over onto the battlefield, as Ligor was then shown having to be in complete control by having to inflict massive amounts of damage to Beerus, was when Ligor then went on to quickly respond. You'd be a fool to consider your power as being anything close that would be able to rival mine, God of Destruction. But I can now start to see on why you are often referred to as being as fearsome as you are in battle. But if placed into another tournament against the rest of us, or placed in a situation where you are up against unknown gods of destruction, it is your obligated duty to go and show those who stand across from you on why you are the god that you are spoken of out there to be. And while I had went and offered you a chance to call this contest off here against me, this will only continue to grow worse for you, because
Man, you look at Beerus, he over here flew up in the air. Somebody tell Lord Beerus he was talking too much shit to be over here looking like that. Like, boy, hey, off all grounds. He said, I don't know what happened. Look at him down here. Like, yeah, jaw hurt. He got knocked the fuck out. The fuck out.
I don't plan on stopping until I have seen your all, Lord Beerus. As Beerus went on to then fire down multiple blasts by responding. And so then you better be prepared to fight me until the very end, because I'm not wavering in this contest until my power bests yours. But even then, despite with Beerus' best attempts of trying to blast Ligor, with Ligor being shown making his way towards Beerus and having to swipe away his attacks, was when Ligor then went on to quickly respond. Then you are just as foolish as you are brave to even want to go ahead and try, Lord Beerus. But even then, while you try, I will only continue to drive your efforts deeper into the ground until I have made you realize that you just cannot compete with me. But then, it was only just upon with Ligor attempting to slash Beerus, with Beerus being shown creating multiple after images and getting out of harm's way, was when Beerus went on to then quickly respond. And how sure of yourself are you that you aren't going to be the one who is going to find themselves overwhelmed in this battle here, God of Destruction? For it was as I had said even long before our battle even began, that I will never allow for my efforts to be overshadowed, nor will I stand to have my power ever be rivaled by any destroyer ever again. And while you are a worthy contender,
Back to the full screen. You see Beerus is in out here putting in that work. He done fucking got 4 of them shooting. Look at him. Beerus is jumping this dude by himself. Shouts out to Beerus.
And someone whom I didn't expect to use this much power against in battle. And if I am to go and uphold my name and my title, then I must be the one who walks away from this battle as its winner. And in order for that to go and happen, I'll make sure that it all ends with this. Beerus went on to then channel up a massive energy attack above him, for you may have been an unexpected yet extremely powerful challenger and the first god of destruction outside of a mortal warrior to push me into using more of my reserves like this. Let it now go and be known that this will be how this will all end, Lord Ligor. And thus, this ends right now. Beerus proceeds upon being shown launching his sphere of destruction down onto Ligor. So now let's go and find out on just how powerful you truly are when faced up against my sphere of destruction. As I can only go and promise you that you are going to be driven into the ground where there you will face your ultimate defeat, Beerus continues. But even then, it was only just as Ligor was then shown having to grab onto Beerus' blast before then being shown having to be locked in a stalemate was when Ligor then went on to quickly respond. No, I don't think so, Lord Beerus. For you are in way over your head and are already making the same mistake that you went and made before by assuming a premature verdict here against me. Why won't my attack push through you? For I will not have you upstage my power like this without suffering the consequences behind them. And so, why won't you go down? With Ligor then responding, I'll commend you for this effort, God of Destruction. For a sphere of destruction with this much raw power would have instantly consumed and vaporized anyone who dared to challenge its might. However,
see, there you go. For those who like to get y'all little screenshots, y'all better clip them. Shouts out to y'all clippers. I know y'all appreciate that. A quick screenshot, and then you'll be right back in the game.
during this attempt of yours, while you may have not already noticed if you didn't by now, that you went and made a very critical mistake here against me. To which it was only surprisingly enough with Ligor being shown having to now reposition his body and holding the sphere of destruction now above him was when Ligor then went on to continue. Because while your sphere of destruction holds immense power, you appear to lack the additional force and strength that is needed in order for it to fully overtake me. And while your frustrations are now slowly beginning to creep back into taking over your emotions and causing you to go and make many mistakes along the way, you should go and know better than anyone that a destroyer who ranks
What up, bro?
above the rest can never
Appreciate you for
take
stopping
away
through. Y'all know to go
the
check out Big
course
Bro
of
channel.
any battle that they find
You can go check out his other channel. You can go check out his other channel. You know, we have multiple channels around here. Yeah, one.
Why such things could never be the case with me. Because while you are no longer the one who is in control of your own mighty attack, let this go and be a painful reminder to you that no matter how powerful you think that you are, there will always be someone out there who is far stronger than you. To which, shockingly enough, it was only just then with Ultra Ligor then being shown having to completely rip apart Beerus' sphere of destruction was when Gohan then went on to chime back in. Are you kidding me? But there's just no way. There is just no way that we just saw that God of Destruction go and do that just now. With Vegeta responding, what in the world? That's not possible. What? But how did he just go and tear one of my strongest attacks apart like that? Ultra Beerus then went on to look down by questioning. For that shouldn't have been possible for him to go and do. And how was he also able to grab hold of my sphere like that and reposition himself to the point where he was able to tear it in half like that? No, he can't possibly be that much stronger than I am for him to be doing this to one of my most powerful attacks like that. And so I must try another way to win because there must be something that I am overlooking here.
You already know,
As
fam.
went on to respond, that was a valiant effort in your attempts to try and wear me
I'm
down,
gonna check out bro. He
Destroyer,
might
but
be
no
live
matter
right
how
now.
much you try, no matter how hard you attempt to push yourself to summon a greater power to overshadow my own, you will you to compete with a storm of power as massive as mine, Lord Beerus. For you may have found the willpower to hold out against me so far, which is a testament to your resolve. However, willpower alone will not be enough to win you today here against me, Ligor continues. For every moment that you spend standing across from me in opposition, will you only continue to descend deeper and deeper into the pits of the abyss, in knowing that deep down, while you slowly begin to grow weary and fatigued, I, on the other hand, still remain strong. To which, as Ligor was then shown dashing towards Beerus and attacking him, was when Goku then went on to chime back in. Well, although I will admit that even with Lord Beerus being at the height of his absolute power, even after managing to find a way to combine his God of Destruction powers with the principles of Ultra Instinct, I just can't help this feeling inside. God, Whis, based on what we're seeing, Goku continues, how strong do you really think that Lord Ligor is when compared to Lord Beerus? With Whis responding, well, I'm afraid the only answer that I can give you right now, Goku, based on the information gathered by both myself and Lord Beerus, is that I would say if the passage of time within Universe 20 flows faster than our own, then based on the amount of time that Lord Ligor would have had to garner enough experience within his present state, then I would have to go and say that Lord Ligor would be much stronger than Lord Beerus while both having to wield identical forms. However, there does in fact appear to be a clear distinction between the two if you haven't already happened to have noticed by now, because despite with both of them having to successfully fuse their destructive nature with the principles of Ultra Instinct, Whis continues, if you go and stop and have a little closer look, then you will see that Lord Ligor is far more balanced, Whis says, for his movements appear to be much sharper and his discipline more refined, while Lord Beerus, on the other hand, is unfortunately allowing for his frustrations to take hold of his direction throughout the course of this battle, and it's not something that Lord Beerus was prepared for either, I'm afraid. And while I do still hope that there is some kind of window for Lord Beerus to exploit here against Lord Ligor in order for him to capture this victory, Whis continues, and I'm afraid to say that if this continues to go the way that it currently is, then unfortunately I think that it would be safe to say that there will be nothing that Lord Beerus will be able to do out there against what Lord Ligor has become in order for him to claim the victory over him by the very end of all of this. It was only then in the meantime as Ligor was then shown having to drive Beerus down onto the ground by smashing his body onto the pavement below was when Ligor then went on to respond, you have endured far more punishments than most could ever even go as far as to dream of enduring, Lord Beerus, but I want you to go and listen very carefully, for you have proven yourself to be more than what I had expected, but while I do not wish to go and harm you any more than I already have, Ligor continues, I ask for you to go and simply stay down while you still can, and I don't say this out of arrogance towards you, but I say this as more of a warning. For if you only continue to rise in this battle here against me, the harsher the consequences will become, Lord Beerus. For this is not something that I want to go and do, but if you force my hand in this situation, then I will do it without hesitation, Ligor continues. And so now what do you say, God of Destruction? For it's as I said, there is no shame in admitting when you have been beaten so that you can live and go and fight another day. And so now what is your answer? With Ultra Beerus responding, you can go and do your worst, for I will not back down here against you, no matter what it is that you go and try to do to me. So let go of me so that I can show you. To which it was only fortunately enough for Beerus, with Ligor being shown having to punch his way down onto the ground, with Beerus being shown vanishing and getting behind Ligor, was when Ligor then went on to quickly respond, then if this is going to be how you wish to end things between us, then I will not deny you of your destiny, but while we both know that you are without reach in beating me as you are without a doubt one of the most dedicated and driven gods of destruction that I have ever seen, Ligor continues, for I think that I am finally now starting to understand on why you are the way you are, but make no mistake about what it is that is about to happen here between us, Lord Beerus, because while you are still able to fight and while you are still able to witness the force of nature that I bring upon having to battle against my opponents, let our next engagement here between us be our last, Lord Beerus. To which it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the resurrected fallen gods of destruction, the legendary God Saga, manga chapter number 879 semi-finale then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing, because not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the manga content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way that range from a variety of different things, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link everything down within the description box below and pinned comment section as well. Now, I will go as far as to say that although I have a feeling that Lord Beerus will need to go and use every bit of power that he could possibly draw forward in order to go and put Lord Ligor away for good, I still find it rather difficult and extremely shocking to see how the tables have now turned against Lord Beerus after seeing Lord Ligor unleash a similar power to his own. But even though it'll finally all come down to this, as I assume that this is going to be their final engagement before we crown a winner here between them, you do not want to miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video. As before you leave, do make sure to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as subscribing to Unreal and Gaming's channel in case you are new around here. We thank you all for watching and hope you all have a wonderful day, everyone, as we'll see you all in the next one.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unreal and Gaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms. You sexy son of a bitch.
Rosie.
Silent Cell. Me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Rosie, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
Hey, y'all know, speaking of monetization, hit that Buy Me a Coffee link. Become a hot dog member, you know, we'll actually chop up videos y'all want to review. Because, you know, we are on a review channel and we do go ham. Shout out to Spider Pig. We do more than Super Saturdays, but Saturdays are consistent.
Making a big mistake. Where do you think you're going? Pity. What a waste of talent. Not today. Back off. Have it your way. A tough guy like you should be able to face the truth.
Are you okay?
Hell nah, Dende. He need healed. That motherfucker just got his ass whooped. Then they wonder why Gohan ass wasn't trying to be a fighter. He said, I'm trying to be smart. You got Vegeta's out here just beating niggas' ass. I was a kid, nigga. Fuck all that.
Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door. in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light. Remember me when you're far away. I always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light.
Y'all know to hit me up in the comment section. Let me know anything y'all want to talk about as far as the episodes that we'll review and all that good stuff. Other than that, I'll see y'all next Super Saturday.